Hey, good evening, folks. Afternoon, morning, wherever you are. All right. So today was the Legacy Showcase Qualifier. This is the Mox qualifier. So if you win that event, you qualify for the Magic Online Championship Series, which has a whole ton of prizes and leads into playing in the Pro Tour. This was a very small event made up of people who top 8'd the past 3 Legacy Showcase challenges. Excuse me. Legacy Showcase challenges, and then the 3 people who won the 3 last chance qualifiers. So it's a 27 player event. I think 1 person didn't play, so it was effectively 26. And I was fortunate enough to top 8. It's a small event, it was only 5 rounds and then top 8. I started out 3-0, and then I lost 2, but since I was the top X2, 2 of them got in, and I was one of them. I lost in the quarterfinals, so I just got 8th. But I'm still pretty happy with what happened. I lost to the same player twice. I lost to Ali on lands twice. I made some pretty big mistakes in our second match. But my brain was a little fried at that point. I was very stressed out about this event, and I was just very happy that I made top 8. I did not expect to. So this event was something I'd never really done before, both literally and in turn, like the type of event it is. This event, everything was like a known quantity in this event. Basically everybody knew what everybody was on, and for the most part, everything was anticipated beforehand. So with the meta, here I can pull up what the meta actually was, and my anticipation of it based on what people had qualified with, it was like 2 or 3 decks, 2 or 3 decks off what ended up happening. So let me pull, so the Theta Project by Volrath XP. Hey JP, how you doing, man? All right, so this day's kind of interesting. So my anticipation of it was almost exactly this. I expected 3 Bant players instead of 2. I expected 2 Death and Taxes players instead of 3. 1 Esper Vial, 1 Doomsday, 2 Green-White Depths, 1 Jeskai, 1 lands is 1 more than I expected. I expected just Ali to play lands. I thought there were going to be 2 Show and Tell decks, but I also anticipated that probably one of the Show and Tell players would drop Show and Tell because this event is 30% Delver. And it's actually this other tempo is like Delverless. Well, okay. We're kind of reaching the point in Delver where Delver is a Delver deck, kind of how Affinity plays Affinity cards. In that there's probably 2 to 0 Delvers in the average blue-red Delver deck. But this other tempo, I did face someone who was playing, it looked like blue-red Delver, but it had Urza Saga. And I don't know if I don't think I saw Delver Secrets itself, actually. They might have had it, though. Standstill. Okay, so maybe one of the Bant players, one of the Bant players maybe played Standstill. 1 Task was expected. I don't know what this... Oh, this is the person who just dropped, who just didn't play. So I expected 9 Blue Red Delver. We got about 9 Blue Red Delver. So I went 3-3, 3-0 into 3-3. So I'm here. Esper Vial went 4-2. So JTL got 7th. And I actually was one of his 2 losses. I beat him in round 3. I'm kind of impressed Kai got 2 and 3 just given the field. Like Doomsday's worst matchup is Delver and 30% of the field. That's rough. That's a rough field for Doomsday. D&T won the event. It was D&T versus Lance in the finals. And then Bant. So, given that expected field, thanks, JR, dude. I got my Nervrid shirt. Oh my mirrors. Got my Nervrid shirt on. I should have worn it during the event. Then I would have won. So I worked with JR in the chat a little bit. He was a little late to the party, but helped a bit. Newton, the Elves player, Jarvis Yu, and Luinel were like my primary like confidants for figuring out this field, especially Jarvis. Jarvis helped me a lot. Because I'd never done this small event before, figuring out exactly what your opponents are doing and metagaming very specifically. Because the field is so small. This is basically like a hyper competitive LGS where everybody's a crusher, but it's like LGS sized. So Jarvis helped me test against Delver and Jeskai. We didn't get around to playing lands, which ended up biting me because I didn't play my lands matches very well. And then Luna helped me test against Green White Depths. Matchup was confirmed as unwinnable as I expected. And then Newton also helped me play against Delver as well. So 3 key kind of things that I started with. I wanted to main deck a Blast because this field is like 80% blue decks. And there was going to be a large percentage of the field that is going to be playing 4 Murktide regions, which turned out to be true. So the number of decks that a main deck Blast would be dead against, like Stone Cold Dead, is very few. It'd be the 2 Greenwood Depths players, the Lance player, and then the D&T players, and that's it, I think. And then, I mean, this is a little niche, but most of the D&T players, I think 2 out of the 3 were on Yorion. So if you draw the main deck Blast, there's actually a chance it does do something. So very hard for it to be a completely dead card. And if I don't have... I ran into this conflict where normally what I was doing before to beat Murktide Regent was to splash heavier black for Warren Weirding. But if you do that, you can't also play Masked Vandal. And I think Masked Vandal is really good against Jeskai. It's really good against D&T. It's like essential against D&T. Good against lands because you can hit enchantments, and that deck is heavily enchantment based at this point. Its only real poor matchup is Delver, so that's why I didn't main deck the Vandal like I did in the Showcase challenge. And I also didn't play Sharpshooter, and I also didn't main deck Kiki. So these cards are all my sour. I didn't play Sharpshooter at all because I just didn't think the field was D&T-y enough for Sharpshooter. And there's also no elves. There's no other travel decks. And then the Esper Vial, like Sharpshooter's good against Esper Vial, but they also have Pile of Skyclaves and, more importantly, multiple fetchable Plague Engineers. So relying on Sharpshooter does not seem like a good plan. So I got the Kiki and the Vandal on the sideboard. I figured I would lose most of my game 1s against Death and Taxes, but that I would make up for it in post-board games with Vandal, Kiki, Trash Master, 2 Pyrokinesis, a Needle, and a Karakas. Like, that's a lot of really good cards for the matchup. So 4 blasts total. I swapped from Magus of the Moon to Blood Moon because I saw that the Jeskai decks were playing fewer and fewer basics, and so not allowing them to be able to kill your Moon effect with like a treasure and casting Plow, or simply like floating mana and casting Plow. They actually have a really hard time removing Blood Moon itself. And there weren't many Force Vigor decks in the meta as well. The thing that's missing in the actual data is that nobody played Hogak, and I was expecting 2 Hogak players. I don't think that would have changed anything in terms of my deck construction, though. If I knew for a fact there was 0 Hogak, maybe I probably play Surgicals over Leylines if there's no Hogak. That's probably the only change I would make. No monkey, no Ragavans here. I think in that field where people are going to be hyper inbreeding to beat Ragavan, people were. Most of the Delver lists I saw were playing multiple Hydroblasts. They were playing more copy, like gut shots were pretty popular. I didn't want to just like lean more into that, so I really leaned into testing showed me that Mogwar Marshal was like the best way to beat Ragavan, as I kind of suspected. And there's only one Plague Engineer deck in this whole field, so I didn't think I could really get punished for playing 3 War Marshals. So I played 3 War Marshals and a Mog Fanatic, basically to keep Channeler. I mean, Fanatic's nice against Channeler early, and then War Marshal's really good against Ragavan as well. And hold on one sec. What was I saying? You're okay. I just lost my train of thought. Mogwar Marshal and Mog Fanatic are really good against Delver, basically, is just my point. But also against Jeskai. When I was testing against Jeskai, Mogwar Marshal was like the biggest deal. Dark Reckoning, thanks for the follow. Okay, so let's look at the matches here. So round 1, Meccan, I was assuming that he was on Bant, and he was. That's what he qualified with. That's what I think of him as like as default as a Bant player. This match was pretty nuts. All the matches were like pretty intense. Oh yeah, and I decided not to play Fury either. I almost played a main deck Fury, because it does look pretty good against the field as a whole. But I really wanted just the more I played, I found I didn't really want a Pyrokinesis type effect against Jeskai, and I really wanted the War Marshals. I just wanted so many War Marshals. Also, you're playing main deck Blast and main deck Fury. Your Ringleaders get a little dicey, especially post-board. Who just followed? BCG Factory, thanks for the follow. All right, so it's on the play here against a presumed Bant opponent. This hand's like phenomenal. And he goes to 6. So this is a in the past, I think I would 100% always lead on Vial here against control. But since the advent of Prismatic Ending, I'm actually finding myself leading on Lackey more often, with the thinking that if you go, first of all, your Lackey is just more likely to do something turn 1 on the play, right? Especially if you have Cavern. Bant doesn't have that many white sources. It's not very good at casting Plow on turn 1. Or Ending, for that matter. But I think Cavern Lackey has a pretty good shot of actually working when I'm on the play. And if it gets Prismatic Endinged and the Vial sticks, that's great. So that's why I lean on Lackey here. It does mess up the sequence a little bit because you're not optimally using all of your mana. Because basically this port becomes turned off for a bit. I'm not going to be able to port for a while. Whereas if you go like turn on Vial, turn 2, port you, Vial and Lackey, like then things are really smooth. War Marshal, okay draw. So attack first. I do get plowed. We get plains, and this small thing, don't play your land. In that situation, don't play your land before you attack. Because if I play like a non-wasteland land pre-combat, he might feel comfortable enough to get Tundra. And the more often you can get Bant to fetch plains, kind of the better. So now his hand's probably pretty bad, right? He He had to fetch planes. He forced pitching Brainstorm. He mulliganed. I think Ponder did not shuffle. Also, a card to be aware of nowadays is Dress Down. So the fact that Dress Down is not up for this Matron is really nice. So Slam Matron. And I decided to get Lackey here. I have a redundant Matron to go with the Lackey. I have a Sling Gang and War Marshal, which goes to Sling Gang. I'm not guaranteed to land drop next turn, so I don't want to go straight for Ringleader. And plus, it just fits my curve of Cavern Lackey, Port You. Brainstorm again. Pass with this up. So this kind of feels like Dress Down. I port the planes to stop the Lackey from getting hit by a Prismatic Ending. So opponent's stuck on mana, so now I'm like, okay, I really want to... So like, they need Ice Fang Coatl or Dress Down here. They have Coatl. There's an argument to actually just let this trade and then play the second Lackey and then port. The problem with that is you're giving up a lot of tempo. And if they draw another white source or they drew a plow off of either the Coatl or their draw step, then you get very punished. So I decided to keep up the attack, even though it does mean not porting them when they are stuck on 3 lands. So I put in my Sling Gang. I really held my breath there because a natural terminus would have been brutal. So there's Uro, Fetch, Savannah. There's the ending. All right, so opponent's pretty well set to cast Uro next turn. Moto, hello. Draw Pile Driver. So there's no... I could... No. There's no port combination. There's no land to port that actually stops Uro here because of Savannah. I got port Chop. They have blue. Wait, hold on. Okay. Actually, if I port a Trop here, they can't cast Uro. But... So, yes, they can cast Uro if I port... Or if they can't cast Uro if I port, but if they draw a land, then I'm like really punished. Yeah, okay, no. I could port Savannah or Chop. That does technically work. But it gets punished really easily. Yeah. I'm totally misreading the board there. But the fact that I think if I didn't draw a Pile Driver there, I think I would have done that. But the fact that Pile Driver means that I can put in like multiple lethal, quote unquote lethal threats makes me just want to be aggressive. Because here they just need like so much because they need it to kill the Pile Driver and the Sling Gang and kind of the Lackey, though not if they're escaping Uro. So, and so as it turns out, unless they drew that fetch off of the land, they would have gotten the Uro in play, which would have been pretty bad for me. Drawing the Pile Driver. So before combat, they dress down to remove the pile, so then I don't get the Pile Driver trigger. But I actually do have lethal here. And kill them in end step. So game 2 here, I cut 2 Lackeys, Fanatic, Skirk, Crater Maker, and then bordered in 3 more blasts, Kiki Jiki, and Krakus. Unfortunate forced mulligan. Second hand was also a 1-lander. This is a decent 5. I believe I throw back Crater Maker and the Wasteland. I kind of need all my land drops to do stuff when I'm this low on cards. So this is obviously Quaddle. I draw Blast, but they do have Force, but Force pitching Uro, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's fine. But I believe they have a second Uro here. Yeah. Uro and land. So I'm kind of kicking myself here for not playing the port last turn, because I could go Waste Savannah, Port Island, or Port Forest. Double mana deny them here. Not sure if that matters. So they didn't use their mana anyway, so I think it turns out to not matter. Yeah, they just had the Quaddle anyway. But they're drawing plenty of lands, so this mana denial plan no longer really an option. And this is the situation where I'm like, I really wish I had a Relic in my deck. Like, okay, well, time to jam some Ringleaders. I do draw a Cavern, which is great, but they brainstorm into Dress Down, which is annoying. You know, Stifle draws a card, and I don't get haste on Ringleader, so that's a very good Dress Down for them. Uro. So I'm like, okay, if I draw Caracas, I think I'll win, but Barn Caracas, it's dicey. More Ringleaders. It's a decent Ringleader. I do take them off white, which is nice. So these cards buy me a ton of time. Another port. And notably, they don't have white. I want to save the Sling Gang, plus I want to port them. Though I could see an argument for playing a Sling Gang. It's worse versus another Dress Down, but maybe I'm trying to bait another Dress Down for because my best draw is like Muxus. So strictly speaking, it's more efficient to port here or to War Marshal there because it's like a free block, whereas this isn't like a free block. You're going down on resources. Jace is like pretty bad for me. I fetch. Maybe I should save one fetch there. Trade off. Quaddles. The flying damage could actually matter here. Plus, I want to keep the board a little on the clearer side. Keep porting white. Block. I have 7 cards in hand. And I get an inkling of hope. Oh, no, right. So I do kill Jace. Oh yeah, they fetch and fail to find. So that tells me. So Savannah's in exile. So they're only running 1 Tundra, 1 Savannah, and their Plains is already in play. So yeah, they actually just didn't have any fetchables, which is really funny. But Pile Driver gets plowed. It's a bummer. EE on 0. Now I draw Matron. Gets Dressed Down. I can only attack with the token here, really. I can maybe attack with a Ringleader. Yeah, I could probably attack with a Ringleader. Fuck with Matron. So I'm looking to draw like Kiki Jiki, Muxus. They only have 16 cards. I'm also thinking about if I draw Caracas, I might be able to deck them. Draw Muxus, 3rd Dress Down. Though when you have 15 cards in your deck, that's not massively surprising. But now their white mana is unlocked. Hardcast Shark. They force their own thing. I get to live for 1 more turn because I get to expert the 1/1 to go to 1. But I mean, like, they're at 32, I'm at 1. In order to win from here, I would need to draw my second Muxus and have it be like War Chief double Pile Driver plus Sling Gang, Pashalik kind of stuff. It'd have to be like extremely insane. And Just draw a land there. So, I mean, they got that Uro in play pretty fast. They had the force pitching a redundant Uro to make the Coatl block the Lackey, and then I didn't have my blast for the Uro. You much rather use your blasts defensively in this matchup rather than offensively, so put me in a bit of a tough spot. Didn't see my Caracas, but I mean, obviously it's a 1-of, and we've only gone through 38 cards here. But the way that game played out, I was like, I kind of want Relic. So, and also since we saw most of their deck, they had like 6 cards in hand, 7 cards in hand, and 15 cards left in the library. So I had a pretty good read on like what they had. So I assumed that they did not have Containment Priest. So I cut both Crater Makers and boarded in the Relic. And this Relic looks pretty good. It's very slow controlling hand. I notably do not play the Relic on turn 1, which although it messes up my sequencing, I don't actually want this Relic in play until I'm porting plus holding up an activation because of Prismatic Ending. Draw 6 drop. And small thing there, I cracked my fetch. I should have just cracked my fetch before doing anything, but the second best time to do it is on their upkeep in case they are playing Force of Vigor against me. They Force of Vigor the Relic, and that matters somehow. Small things. Now, I was just going to port and play the slow waiting game until I draw lands. The War Chief lets me turn on the gas. So slam War Chief, because now if they're going to take out, Coatl, this is the time, because Coatl doesn't have Death Touch yet. And they exile the Relic. So obviously they have an Uro in hand. Otherwise, like, why would you do that over killing the War Chief? Now the War Chief's alive. And I think this is kind of illustrative of the problem with Bant versus Goblins, is that it's not very good at answering 2 things at once, because all of its answers are in 1 color, and it doesn't have that many sources of that 1 color. So they have a dress down here. Like, this is either second Coatl or dress down. It's a little unfortunate that I can't play around dress down, really, because I don't have a 4th land. But I'd rather get Sling Gang dress down than Ringleader, so. Also, the fact that dress down removes Death Touch means that War Chief gets to attack this turn, where it otherwise would not. So, in a way, this dress down, while it eats the 2 Goblin tokens, they take the same amount of damage this turn, which is kind of cool. So, Ponder, Abundant Harvest, reveal Caracas. Now I draw Wasteland, which is very nice, though I'm not actually interested in using it yet. Like, I could play, like, very aggressively and go, like, blast your Coatl, attack you for 3, Wasteland you, port you, put you down to... I probably, Wasteland this and then port Island. So they have this as their mana, which is like definitely a Scorched Earth tactic I could try. But I thought this was like a really good opportunity to resolve this Ringleader while Dress Down was down. Plus, I don't want to use the Wasteland necessarily because if the War Chief lives for another turn, then I get to Muxus them. Only hit a Lackey in bottom 2 lands I kind of wanted to draw, so that was not a good Ringleader. And I decide I'm not holding up Red Blast this turn, or I don't really want to. I'd rather just bash, and I'll trade here because that means I get in for 5. They're at 9. I have a Sling Gang in play. Like, their life total is very precarious. So there's the Uro, Caracas. They swords the War Chief, which is smart. I'll draw pretty useless Vial, but so here's some more Coatls. Blast this. Waste the Tundra. Now I think this is like because I don't have 2 true red sources and I can't double blast this turn. I decide to go for the denial plan at this point. Because I can deny Uro for 2 whole turns with the Waste on the Trop and the Port on Forest. And while it sucks to use Wasteland when I have a 6-drop in my hand, I have the board and their mana is bad. So, Cycle Shark Typhoon. Blast Typhoon. Force Pitch Snapcaster Mage. So, yeah, they get to eat my Sling Gang. But eating a Snapcaster, from my perspective, is pretty good. They're down to 2 cards, 3 after the draw, but I still get to port the green. So Uro is still impossible. And draw another land. And because of green being down, I don't really have to fear anything. You know, if I just blast this shark and put them to 1. I'm pretty sure they don't have another plow. I guess another Snapcaster would be the punish. But I don't think I'm really playing around that. I played the Vial first in case they get baited into forcing that. And they did not hit a plow. So in order to survive this game, they needed to draw a plow. They can't Prismatic Ending 4-drop. A Snapcaster, or if it was Quaddle, they would have to have drawn it last turn. They can't draw it this turn because of port. Yeah, I think this is a really good showcase of how good port is against Bant. It's like just obscenely good. Yeah, this is a good start. So round 2 was Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle, I assumed, was on Delver, and he kind of was. Not exactly. What cyber cards do you have, Megan? I think I saw your list on Twitter, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Milad, thanks for the follow. I have to disagree. I haven't lost a Bant in over 2 months at this point. Like, I don't think it's like yours was the closest Bant match I've had in a while. Okay, so it's on the draw versus Bullwinkle here. Yeah, Back to Basics Terminus. Back to Basics is good, but that's what the 4 blasts are for. And I kind of assumed you're not on Back to Basics, just given the field, and what was I thinking? Like if I'm seeing Back to Basics, just because I haven't seen Back to Basics out of Bant more recent, like people are on like 0 or 1, and then if it's more popular, then I do bring in the Masked Vandal for it. It's like a cavernable. I mean, I just think that attacking Bant's mana to keep Uro from getting into play until like turn 6 or 7 is very viable, and I've won a lot of games after Uro gets into play still. And it's usually sort of a tempo thing because of because the idea is, how do I phrase this? Like, it's not just that blasting Uro. Like, if you're just blasting Uro every turn, that's like bad on cards, right? But the tempo loss is pretty massive. I mean, it's like same against. It's similar to Delver, but once it's not like Delver where once the Uro gets into play, game is over, because or once Uro swings, the game is over. Like, I have so many ways to overpower Uro's life gain at this point. Between, like, if Muxus gets stress downed, that sucks. But I've definitely, the game plan that I'm trying to set up usually is the turn that they play Uro is the turn before I actually crack through for lethal, whether through its War Chief Pile Driver, Muxus, or Sling Gang, or some combination thereof. I don't know. I think Bant's a great matchup. All right, we got this really weird hand here. Didn't shuffle on the ponder, so I showed Discipline, did not Wasteland. Now this is weird. This is, there's like a lot for there's kind of three choices here, right? There's play, well, technically there's four, but playing Monk War Marshal is like pretty obviously not right. It's play Vial off of Mountain, then Wasteland, regardless if it resolves, because if you, or I mean, you can play Vial, see if it resolves, maybe Wasteland them, probably Wasteland them. You can play Vial off of Wasteland first. If it doesn't resolve, probably regardless of whether or not it resolves, play Lackey off Mountain. Or you could wait and try to play Lackey around Days. Next turn would be Lackey, then Wasteland, then Vial and second Lackey. Or you could do Lackey, Wasteland, hope there isn't another Bolt or another red source on like a blocker. That seems like obviously pretty bad. And all these have varying upsides or downsides, right? So I think I decide to play for maximum upside here, and I play Vial off of a Mountain. And I get punished multiple ways. Because I do get forced pitching Expressive Iteration. I'm like, okay, I don't want them to be able to expressively iterate or play like end of turn Brainstorm, fetch, or any land, play Murktide. I really wanted to knock out the Volk here. I'm like, yeah, this sucks. But if I draw a land next turn, then it's fine. Is this top 8? I'm getting there. This is round 2. So, ultra punished. Like he gets dazed. So if I had played Vial off Wasteland, the Vial gets countered, and then I play Mountain, then the Lackey gets dazed. That kind of is fine because they're putting the land back in their hand instead of hard casting it, and then I still have my Wasteland, which turns out to really matter because they go Expressive Iteration to Urza Saga. So if I still have my Wasteland around, obviously they just get a different card at that point, so it's like, eh. But Monkey. War Marshal does fortunately resolve, but not having answer to the Saga anymore because I spent my Wasteland kind of fruitlessly. Big problem. Double basics, expert, yeah. And there's a Murktide. So, very dead from here. I took a high risk line, and I took the highest risk, highest reward line, and it did not pay off. Insult to injury. Draw both the experts there. So, I mean, I didn't know that my opponent was on a Saga deck at that point. It just looked like regular Blur Delver, so maybe in the moment it's not a misplay, but in retrospect it obviously hurt. So I sided as if it's the Jeskai Saga deck, but without white. So I boarded basically as I was against Jeskai. I cut the Muxus, cut down to 1 War Chief, cut the Pile Drivers, shaved a Lackey, didn't bring in Pyrokinesis, boarded in 3 Blasts, boarded in Trashmaster, didn't board in Blood Moon, which I normally do against Jeskai, but assuming their deck is pretty immune to Blood Moon, it's only going to hit Saga, and I think hitting my own Caverns is probably more relevant than just hitting Saga. Yorion D&T won, lands got second. Rest of the top 8 was... So it was like Bant, Yorion D&T, lands, me, Esper Vial, Blue-Red Delver, what's the rest? All right, so it's Death and Taxes, lands, Blue-Red Delver, Bant, Standstill, Blue-Red, or Tempo, some other Tempo deck, Esper Vial, me. That's top 8. Man, I'm sad I didn't get the Standstill pairing. How many Prospectors? We got 2 Prospectors, Steve. All right, so this hand's like not phenomenal, but we have a Wasteland for Saga and Expert for turn 1 Monkey with double Caverns, so we're not even that vulnerable to a Wasteland, and we have Matron for the long game, so pretty reasonable grind hand. Bet around Stifle just in case it's in there. I don't think it is. Pashlik's an okay draw. I use the Cavern here because I have a second one, basically. So Saga's kind of annoying. I don't want to spend my turn wastelanding and doing nothing. That's like kind of annoying. But I don't want, like, I could just play Matron here. It's not that bad. They maybe get 1 construct. Hey man, traders, thanks for the follow. And I have the Trash Master. I just don't want to have to sink that many resources into it. So I decide, all right, we'll do the Wasteland thing. You know, they're not doing anything. I'm not really doing anything. Draw Pyroblast, which is really nice. That's like the one hole in this hand is Murktide. Now we have Murktide covered. Nature for Ringleader. I suspect my opponent's playing fewer than 4 Wastelands, so that's why I feel a little more comfortable getting Ringleader. Hey, thanks for the 100 bits, Mining Man Technology. Much appreciated. Mining Man Teacher Dog. Why did I say technology? Thanks for the bits. All right, so Matron for Ringleader. Monkey. Sanderson's just got Delverless. Okay. Okay, so just guy made top 8. Okay. Wasn't there... Wait, that's weird, though. Wasn't Jeskai also on the spreadsheet as Jeskai? So Monkey hits a mostly irrelevant Wasteland. That's fine. I kind of would have liked to draw land, but I drew land anyway, so, you know, whitelisted, I guess. Slam that Ringleader. Draw 3 excellent cards. And don't attack. And I discard Crater Maker. I have Trash Master for artifacts, so I don't really need the Crater Maker. I want the Marshal because that will make the Ragavan irrelevant forever. Oh, you're right, McQuinsauce. Right. Sanderson's list is like much closer to a Delver deck. It's like just Guy Delver, basically, but without Delver. You're right. There's no sagas. It's just Wastelands, right? So I guess that is why it's other tempo. That actually kind of makes sense. It's like the inverse of this deck that I'm playing against. Basically, if my opponent wants to go, like, spend a card on a Ringleader that drew 3, I guess kind of drew 2, because I did discard 1, but, you know, details. Like, that's just like a bad exchange. But this is like a very high resource game, which I feel comfortable in. So, Expressive Federation. So, I actually just play Matron pre-combat. Get another Ringleader. I didn't have a Muxus in my deck. If I had a Muxus in my deck, I'd probably grab it here, but... Get Wastelanded. A little sad. Pay Echo. At this point, I feel like I'm so far ahead, honestly. Like, I've all value and an answer to Murktide. There's even a universe where I could potentially expert a Murktide if it's, you know, not like next turn. So if they have like Force for my Blast, I could still potentially kill it. So I'm like trying to play around stuff like Pyroclasm or Blazing Volley. So that's why I pay Echo there, even though it does slow down my Ringleader. Tackle, play Fanatic. I almost kind of expected this to get hard cast Force of Will. It's a Saga. But now, like, my clock is too substantial. All right, it's like, all right, now we're on Ringleader mode, the third Ringleader. Whiffs, but that's like not all that unexpected, right? I've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goblins already. And I have like 26. Curious about the attack there. You mean with the War Marshal? Oh, the first attack with Ringleader into Monkey. I'm trying to save Expert for Channeler, which I'm assuming is in the deck somewhere. So yeah, I don't love trading Ringleader with an irrelevant monkey, but like a 2/1 is always going to block a 2/2, any 2/2 reasonably, right? So I thought I'd just get it out of the way while it's free. So a Braid hits Ringleader. Pass. Jump Home's like just even better insurance. Now I could Expert plus Jump Home and Murktide. Fanatic gets bolted, so like his hand is just like all reactive spells at this point. Decide to Expert the construct here. Just get out of the way. Hold up Reb and Jump Home. He flooded pretty bad here. Decided not to Jump Home because I'm just gonna Trash Master. Trash Master's prompts a concession. I'm assuming his hand is Vulture Fanatic's hand is unplayable. Alright, so like the way this game played out, I was reasonably confident there are less than 4 Wastelands in this deck, so that makes me feel pretty good about a game 3 here. I decided wording differently. Oh, I have the Kiki-Jiki. Oh, no, I left out the Kiki-G. I'm on the draw, right? This hand is a little sketchy in that it's bad against turn 1 Monkey plus Daze. But Double Wasteland is probably really good. Pyroblast is really good. Expert currently incastable, but not far away. Creator Maker's good against like a Retrofitter. I do have turn 1 Monkey. Draw another Wasteland, which is like, ugh. Fetch preemptively. These decks do sometimes play Stifle still, so I'm just like, let's just not randomly die. I hit a Matron, which is kind of annoying. Just because I would like that. Though I guess not right now. Kind of in a dicey spot. Because I kind of am priced into that line. And I don't love Wastelanding here. Because I'm really trying to cast this War Marshal around Daze. They hit a port, which is fine. Draw Cavern Souls like a fucking champion. This Cavern absolutely saved my bacon, because I'm sure his hand has a Daze. Or Force. But now this Ragavan is just like Terabad. So Iteration finds a Tarn. And Murktide. So I blast first. I don't try to bait with a Vial because I don't want to just get like double dazed and die kind of thing. Now, if they didn't play a Murktide there, I 100% would have paid Echo. So more iterations. So my opponent's definitely like drawing a lot of cards. Brainstorm. There's a Wasteland and Cavern, but now that I have Vial, it's less threatening. Second War Marshal, very good. Now we can attack freely. Our Vial is going to be on 2 next turn, so a lot of lands from Bullwinkle here. Pain Echo. Draw Magnetic. Attack with the tokens. They trade off, sure. Crater Maker, Retrofitter before any more tokens can happen. Be Vial on 2 because of Expert. Attack, play Fanatic. Unholy Heat, Fanatic. Dash Ragavan. Expert's the blowout. Oh my god, we're getting Dak Fade and Copy Pastas. War Chief's pretty reasonable draw, but just as a 2/2 haste. At this point, I don't think I care that much about Ragavan. Like, if there's a third monkey that's going to dash and attack me, I think that's fine. You know, there aren't that many good hits in my deck, so I'm not going to worry about it. Any goblin, and I'll get to overpower with Trashmaster next turn. Pretty sure the only scary hit would be Sling Gang. And that's the game. So opponent drew a lot of reactive cards, presumably. Maybe has a Saga stuck in the hand with the Wasteland. Maybe has probably like counterspells. Like, this game was short and sweet. JTL, Esper Vial guy, like 100% of the time. Won the die roll like a champion. My hand says one thing. Do you have Swords to Plowshares? And a White Source, which is not nothing in Esper Vial. The mana's a little sketch. So, do you have a Swords to Plowshares in your opening hand of your card? Tundra, I was like, oh fuck. Tap for white, oh fuck. Either Vial. And then I flip up. I mean, these two are decent because that means that I can answer any blockers next turn. But the Pile Driver is really what seals it because it's a lethal threat alongside Muxus. Bada bing. Bada boom. Hit you for 17 off of these two. Plus tons of overkill. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't hit, if I just hit like some more token makers, theoretically, if he had a plow again, or if he like drew a plow the turn after I played Lackey on his next turn, and he had another White Source, then he could, you know, take a hit from Muxus, plow Lackey, and then get the Vial to 2. And once the Vial gets to 2, then you have to worry about like Baleful Strix or like, you know, Strix, Charming Prince, my Strix kind of stuff. The Pile Driver is what makes sure it's like a 1-turn clock. So sideboarding, cut 2 Lackeys, Prospector. I cut all the War Marshals and a Sling Gang. Yorion Esper Vial is going to have probably 2 Plague Engineers, but also 4 Recruiters to find them. So Plague Engineer is basically a certainty. And I boarded up to 3 blasts. I didn't want all 4 because there are a lot of non-blue cards in the deck, and you don't want a ton of... You don't want redundant blasts, right? Yeah, it's been pretty good in the real events. I've been Leagues have been a lot rougher just because they have so much nonsense in them, but the premier events have been going well lately. Yeah. Thanks, Team Flogger. All right, so 3 Blast, 2 Kinesis, Kiki comes in, Trashmaster comes in, Vandal comes in. Vandal's kind of nice in that it's like an answer to Vial that also answers, it's like Exile Baffle Strix, Exile, no, just Strix and Strix Vial, and then Survives Plague Engineer, which is like actually a relevant facet of the card, even though just like it becomes an O2, because the more X2s you have, or X3s in this case, the easier it is to expert or jump palm engineer. This is game 2. We sideboarded out 2 lackeys. Don't worry, we're on 4 lackeys main. I'm not a psycho playing 2 lackey main, 2 lackey side. Oh man, so this hand's insane as long as I draw lands. This hand's just like nuts if I draw lands. I've got 24 of them, so I think it's an argument you actually board up to 25 because I boarded in Kiki, so you probably want 25 lands. And I boarded out some acceleration, so you just want more natural land drops. So, say I do not have to have the sweats, so I draw the land a turn earlier. So, thank God. And we both have like slow controlling starts, which I think favors me because, well, my interaction is cheaper. I think so. Like, I think he has to lock me out faster than I... Like, it's very hard to lock out Pyrokinesis plus Fire Blast. So he puts Yorion in his hand, so obviously he just, like, doesn't have a Recruiter or something. It's like, okay, draw Muxus. So my hand's looking very clunky. I preemptively Matron for Creator Maker because of Plague Engineer. I just really want that answer in hand immediately, because the way that I would lose would be if like I had to use the Pyrokinesis on something else, or the Pyrokinesis got forced when I didn't have Pyroblast up, some weird circumstance where that happens. And then he goes like Engineer, I Matron for Creator Maker, and he plays a second Engineer and I get locked out. Like that's how you lose. To Fidelity, Voidwalker, and Grief's any sizable play in Legacy. Voidwalker not really, just because any basically fair black decks are really bad right now because they just like absolutely cannot beat Bant. And they're not very good against Delver either. Because like Abrupt Decay is redundant now that Prismatic Ending exists. Like black is just a really bad mana cost to have in Legacy. Grief is seeing some play in Reanimator as like extra unmask, so it's like 3 Grief, 2 unmask, so it's like a 5 unmasks. And then I have seen like Ephemerate decks. I've seen Grief in like Shadow, but like fairly fringe. So only a little bit of play for both of them. More Grief than Voidwalker though. And I'm like, oh my god, this is great for me. As long as, okay, so yeah, drawing the land there is really, drawing Cavern there specifically is really good. Because I know if I get Monarch back, I win. I get a free Matron, and it's really easy for me to retain Monarchy. It's much harder for Esper Vial to get back Monarchy from Goblins than it is for Goblins to get back Monarchy from Esper Vial, because we have haste in our deck and they don't. And then this is the blowout of blowouts. Do they have Jailer postboard? I don't think so. Yeah. So, yeah, Pyrokinesis, pitch, Jump Palm. It's like independently the worst card in my hand at the moment. They force pitch Yorion, blast your force. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Another Charming Prince to scry. Don't give a fuck. Top, bottom, sure. But he doesn't have remove him. And then see, he had a Hydroblast here. That would kind of suck. But not playing a Hydroblast. I could play Kiki Jiki here, copy Matron, and then swing with both, but that's like Eh. Maybe that's better than playing Ringleader, actually. I could create a maker, but then I lose my create a maker, and then I run into the engineer problem. So, just do Ringleader. Whiff, but honestly doesn't matter that much. Block, get back Matron for Mog Fanatic, kill the Charming Prince. And from here, I think it's almost impossible to lose. I like I just don't think it's possible. Brainstorm, Strix, Skyclave, my Ringleader, okay. Strictly speaking, you should play the port there, but it doesn't matter. Slam Muxus. And the hit is also like kind of disgusting. Expert your Skyclave, Ringleader, draw Slingang Pile Driver, get a 4/4, sack Expert, kill Strix, swing for 5. This felt good. Like, I'm not sure you can construct a 4-card hand that can beat a 4-card Esper Vial hand that can get out of this. I just don't think it exists. So he taps a mana and then concedes. So Pyrokinesis plus Red Blast, absolutely sealing the deal. That was really good. From here, things kind of fall off the rails. Q into Ali, who I really didn't want to play against, but you know, sometimes you get Q into the bad matchup. I was on the draw. I have like the most fair hand that I can keep, but you have the Slingang Pashlet combo. You have Vial and basics, and then fucking Yavimaya, Exploration, Tabernacle, Exploration. Okay. Depths, the Sylvan Library. Like, okay. Maybe these 2 lackeys will get in. Nope, Crop Rotation and an optional Blast Zone. He actually plays around main deck Caracas just because he can. Blows up everything. Loses Explorations. I actually think this is like a kind of a bad play because like if I do draw a Wasteland there, and I think I would just like Wasteland Yavimaya and then hope his top cards are just like bad like non-mana producing lands or just like spells because he wouldn't have any green sources. So I think that seems like a mistake, but I didn't draw the Wasteland, so extremely dead. I don't think a land's hand really gets all that much better against me. It's not close. Not even close to close. Okay, so I cut the main deck Blast, obviously. Cut 3 Experts, cut the Fanatic, cut 3 Ringleaders, cut Jump Home. I do see that he's on an Elvish Reclaimer later, so I leave in 1 Expert. It's really unfortunate that I have to mulligan a double Wasteland hand, but obviously no red sources. Mulligan to 5, 6 lands and Mass Vandal ain't gonna do it. This is like a decent lackey aggression hand, you know. Liking to Trash Master, War Marshal, blow up a Mox Diamond, hopefully. And then, yeah, and then not only is it 2 answers to Lackey, but also the Tabernacle's already there. It's like, okay, play Vial, I guess. So he doesn't have lands, so I'm like, okay, there's a chance here. There's a chance here. So I'm hoping to draw Crater Maker, because if I draw Crater Maker, I could kill Reclaimer, or I could kill the Mox. I'd probably kill the Crater Maker. I mean, kill the Reclaimer. And he has Crop Rotation too, so it doesn't matter. Into low, so it extremely doesn't matter. Into Force of Vigor. And game's basically over from here. If I drew a relic, maybe. But still. Oh, and then he draws Exploration into Vial Exploration. Go off. Super dead. Concede. By far the least close game by a mile. Or match, rather. I don't think Elaine's matchup is that bad, but he had two really good hands. All right, we're on the play here. This is the person that beat me in the finals of the last showcase. I really wanted revenge, and I won the die roll, so I was like, hell yeah. Really sad to mulligan this, but obviously 0 lands. Decent 6. Needs to draw action, though. File resolving is a big deal, though. Trying to ponder, okay. Double lackey. Don't have anything to do with them, but they're here. Wasteland is okay. So he brainstorms, and I'm like, okay, please, for the love of God, do not mill a creature. That would be so bad for me. But trade. Don't have a big punish or anything, but free War Chief is a free War Chief. And it's kind of bad now, but there's a Murktide. We do have a lot of good draws here, like Matron, Ringleader. At this point, I was just like, Matron, Ringleader, Sling Gang, Pile Driver are all very good draws. Port is meh. Ponder. More lands. More lands. It's actually very good for me that the Lackey got hit instead of the War Chief. That probably is why this game goes the way it does. Dash Monkey. So there's like the monkey hitting a land. It's actually like the only way I can get out of this. So top card. So I take Vial to 4 because if I draw a Matron, I want to be able to Matron for Sling Gang. And I can any 3-drop I can play plus port. But if I draw Ringleader, I want to be able to Ringleader and then cast something else. Draw Sling Gang, so definitely one of my outs there. Can attack like this. I have to hold back a token because of Ragavan. But now the race is like very close. I do need to fade a bolt though. But I've seen 2. One bolt got milled plus Unholy Heat, so Brainstorm, hold your breath. And then this, he tanked for a long time after this, because as it turns out, I fit 2 Volks. This can only get Steam Vents. So he's like, well, I can't afford to take 2 here. So I go to 1. Waste on the port. Plays Monkey. So how many good draws do I have here? You tricked Delver into playing Steam Vents. Well, I think I actually understand the logic of playing the Steam Vents because the thing is, like when I tested this matchup a lot with Newton, we played a couple matches, but it was frequently clear to me that whenever Delver, it's so color intensive. Like whenever it led on Island, it had repercussions for the rest of the game because it meant that it couldn't threat plus bolt on the next turn. It couldn't play double threat either because all their threats are red aside from Murktide. So the Steam Vents, I do think, alleviate that problem. But obviously they do have a downside, like right here when life totals are very relevant. All right, so how many good draws here to win do I have? I have all the Matrons. 3 Ringleaders are pretty likely to win. It would have to whiff pretty hard for Ringleader to not deliver win. It's Pile Driver, lethal. Pile Driver is exactly lethal. Because they hit them for 4. Drain them for 4, yep. So that's 10 outs. Is Monk War Marshal lethal here? I've drawn 0. So play War Marshal, swing with everything but the Sling Gang. They block War Chief. I drain them for 1 down to 7. And then they take 3 in combat down to 5. 4, 3, 20. Okay, so War Marshal's lethal. So that's what I said was at 10. So 13. Second Sling Gang does it. 14. Pashlik does it. 15. Is there anything else? Expert does it. Does Jump Home do it? Jump Home, strictly speaking, doesn't do it. I would just need any goblin after that to kill them. But yeah. Decent odds here. And Spike the Ringleader. And hit 2 of my outs, Ek, Pile Driver, and Expert. So stole that, Racing the Dragon. Very close game. As it turns out, Ethan has a ridiculous sideboard for me. He has 2 Abrades, 2 Hydroblasts, and 2 Gut Shots in his sideboard. So I bring in the 3 other blasts, 2 Pyrokinesis, and Relic, cut 1 Lackey, 2 War Chiefs, 2 Muxus, and the Taiga, because you really can't flood. Flooding is super bad in this matchup. Reasonable hand, does have a flooding issue. If I draw lands, it's pretty bad. Bot gets braided, yep. Cavern out the Mog War Marshal. I really don't want this War Marshal to get dazed. It's really bad for me if it does. Exposing the Cavern kind of sucks, but kind of have to play into it. And it sucks for multiple reasons, because I actually would like to pay Echo here. So it goes Gut Shot plus Hydroblast, the Pyro. So I didn't play the Skirk because I didn't want the... I was going to pitch the Skirk to the Pyro, but like obviously if I had just played the Skirk, it would have ended up better, because then the Pyro would still be in my hand. So, and it's just like all bad, and then I get dazed. Dude, fuck Daze. Fuck Daze so much. I fucking hate Daze with a blazing passion. Such a bullshit card. Iteration, Brainstorm, sure. Yep. Brainstorms, fortunately does not find Daze, but he mills a creature, so this is now 3/3. So I can't attack. Good weather, thanks for the follow. Delver, Ragavan. So, I mean, at this point, if I drew like Expert or Matron Gempalm, Matron Expert, something like that, I'd be okay. I think I would actually stabilize here. But as is, I flood out, you know, flips Ponder, another Braid. I'm at 7. Draw Creator Maker, which technically gives me another turn. So I swing all because my plan is play Creator Maker or block Ragavan, shoot Delver, go to 4, and then hope to drop top deck Expert or Jump Palm as a second Hydroblast. So yeah, triple. I mean, I kind of flooded, so it's kind of funny that the triple Wasteland wasn't massively impactful. It's only the first Wasteland that really mattered because it hit Cavern. Because if this Matron resolves, I'm pretty sure I win. I don't think I should have waited on the Matron because I didn't know that I just had lands on top of my deck. So like that's kind of, you know, hindsight. But obviously, the Matron resolving would have been absolutely insane this game. That one felt really bad. If you thought that one felt bad though, this one feels worse. This is a good game, but it also made me really sad. So we're on the play for game 3, which feels great. My hand looks awesome. Slam Vial, gets Force Pitching Delver, which I'm very unhappy about because the Delver plays into Pyrokinesis pretty hard. I don't want to expose my Cavern yet, so that's why I play the Port. He gets bolted, sure. Passes. Draw another Vial, which is nice. He has a Braid. Less cool. Yeah, if that Vial stuck, I'd be in such good shape this game. Channeler, Steam Vents untapped. Now, the Steam Vents untapped tells me a lot, I think. And to me, it screamed Hydroblast. I think that's what it almost has to be. It could be another Bolt, but I like a hard read on Hydroblast here. Draw a third Vial, which is good, but also much worse than a fourth land here. A fourth land here would be phenomenal. Yeah, let's talk about that. So the reason I Pyrokinesis when I was in Daze range is because the hard read is on Hydroblast. And if I don't Pyrokinesis right there, there's always a Hydroblast up with the treasure token. It's just 100%. It's just like always there. And so like, okay, I have to do it right now. There's no other point where this Pyrokinesis will be live, unless I top deck Pyroblast to protect it. Also, he hit a fourth land, which is what I needed to cast this Ringleader, which is so tilting. There's the fucking blast. So if I had waited, I do actually get out of this. So then I go, okay, Esper, yeah, Pyrokinesis. So next time he goes to dash Ragavan, well, then I'd have to not port as well, which I guess is fine. Porting isn't really relevant at this point. I mean, here I'll keep doing it, though maybe I shouldn't. Though there is an argument that porting is relevant because it makes it hard to go like you can't go cantrip dragon, hold up blast. Brainstorm. I do blast the Brainstorm. Because I'm like, okay, I have to draw a land to win this game, basically. So this Pyroblast is going to be offline. And I really need them to not draw another Wasteland for my Cavern. Or not another Wasteland, but a Wasteland. If the Ragavan hits Matron, which would have been a great draw, because then I can Matron for Expert, kill Channeler, and then the Ragavan's offline, because there's 2 1/1s in play. Draw another blast, okay. And now it's the Murktide. And there's the Hydroblast that I knew was there, but it's like, I have to do this. Like, there's no other option. Yeah, the clock difference is kind of obscene. He tanked all the time, and it was really annoying. And then I draw another Ringleader just to insult me more. So I think this game boiled down to the Pyrokinesis getting dazed, which is really, really obnoxious. But I 100%, I think that play is absolutely correct. I'm not just supposed to wait, take the monkey hit, let him get the treasure, and then just like expect that Pyroblast is on top of my deck. Like, there's just no way that's correct. And he had 1 card in hand, if we're assuming the other card is Hydroblast, and hadn't cantripped a single time. I think it's very reasonable to read that last card is not good, because all their other cards has been very good. Also, I've been on the play, so I think there's even, like in testing, Jarvis was shaving some number of dazes on the draw, and so is Newton, because daze will fall off when they're on the draw a lot in the post-board games. Etham and Mpoof, thanks to the follows. So, yeah. And they do they finally find the wasteland. So 0 outs from here. Yeah, this yeah. Yeah, I could have tried that, but I just really did not want to pitch the ringleader because it feels like when we both have nothing, ringleader's my way to get back in, and I was only 1 land away from casting the ringleader for like 3 turns. I think it's pretty hard to. He fetched it end of turn, turn 1, to avoid life loss. Presumably because it's a bad natural draw. Yeah, this one was really frustrating. Because just that fucking price into playing into Daze all the time. Stupid fucking card. I hate Daze so much. I hate it so much. Like, it would be so much just more fun to play without Daze. I would put into Ollie in the top 8 here. I managed to squeak into top 8 at 3 and 2 because I was 3-0 start. I am on the play this time. Now this hand's like, it's so tempting, right? Lackey into Sling Gang. We got a War Marshal to go with the Sling Gang, or a Pile Driver. Got Pashlik Mons to go with the Sling Gang, which is like a really fast kill. But we're leading on a Cavern, so if it just gets like, I know Ollie loves the just like exploration, Wasteland you, Tabernacle, you know, kind of starts. Or like the Mox. I mean, it's hard for him to do all of it at one turn, but he had to go like Mox, Wasteland you, exploration, Greed Source, Crop Rot for Tabernacle or whatever. That sort of thing. And if I draw a land, I could even kill Reclaimer. It'd have to be a red land. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to gamble this hard. So I do mulligan. This hand's like, okay. Actually, I played this game very, very poorly. So he did have Terminal Reclaimer, so unless I had to land on top of my deck, Lackey would have lost. So it's a very specific, which land do I play here is a very relevant question. And I choose the wrong answer in the moment. And messing this up costs me the game. Just this choice. What land do you play? So I want to keep the Cavern around, right? Because I need it for Expert. My plan is, turn 2 Pile Driver, turn 3 Expert Reclaimer. But if my plan is do that, I have to play the Wasteland. Or the Cavern. I try to preserve both my important lands in my hand, and I'm not allowed to do that. I have to play one or the other. I think I should have gone Cavern, Pile Driver. Because I think he's less inclined to blind waste Cavern than blind waste waste. If I have a tapped waste, I think he'll aggressively waste it. But I play Port. And the effect, oh my god, the game's going too fast. The effect that this has now is that if I play Cavern, Expert the Reclaimer and attack, he can rotate Forest off Reclaimer for Yavimaya, and next turn if he goes Depths, I'm dead, or land Crop Rotation for Depths, I'm dead. So I have to hold up Wasteland here. Which is so bad. It's so much more efficient. Just Expert this, attack, hold up Wasteland, next turn, Matron, attack for 5, or attack for 4, or Crater Maker, hold up Crater Maker, attack for 4, Port, or some combination, Tabernacle. And I'm not allowed to Wasteland Tabernacle because the Reclaimer's still in play. Like, it's all bad. It's all bad. Everything has cascading effects from here. Now the Expert can just like never get into play. Like, yeah, I do hit him for 5 here, but I should be way further ahead. Rotates. It's just the Tabernacle, which tells me he has Loam. So there's a Maze. He doesn't have a Loam, which is kind of surprising. So this must be like crop rotation. Lucky's a decent draw. And now I port his Forest because I think his mana is bad. And it is. And I mess up again here. So I can Wasteland Maze, Matron for something, and then connect with Lackey and Piledriver, put him to 10. I think there is a clearly correct line of Matron for Sling Gang here, and I Matron for Muxus instead because I'm just like, well, the Muxus will probably hit Skirk or Sling Gang. And that costs me so much. Like I should not just be careless and be like, oh, it'll probably work. That's just not a way I should play in the top of an event. So, and it's a decent Muxus, but no Slang, no Skirk, so it doesn't really matter because 100% of the time, what's happening here is Loam, get back Tabernacle. So let's think for a minute. If this and everything to the right of it were Sling Gang plus tokens, I wouldn't have these 3 cards in hand. So, plays Tabernacle. So end of his turn, I go sack Matron, sack 2 tokens, put him to 7. Pay for Sling Gang, Piledriver, Lackey. Swing. He has to maze Piledriver, or else he dies. Lackey Sling Gang connects. He goes to 5. I put in Matron. So I have 4 Goblins in play. I Matron for Mog Fanatic. And then kill him next turn because I can drain for 4. Don't have to pay anything for Tabernacle. Unless he could somehow find a port my mountain, and a wasteland, waste my cavern. That's like the only way I could lose. So I had a very clear shot at victory here, and I didn't take it. I also maybe mess up here. Oh yeah, I mess up here as well. So the correct way to do this is pay for Lackey, pay for Muxus. But instead I keep the Piledriver around. Which is like isn't bad. Vial's atrocious draw. Muxus gets mazed. But if I paid for the second Lackey, he might maze the Muxus. Probably not, but he might. And if he does, he loses. But even if he doesn't, I should just I don't know what I was thinking. I should absolutely drop Matron and get Sling Gang instead of Skirk. The game is not going to last another turn. So Loam, get a Mox Diamond, has depths naturally. But if I had a Sling Gang in my hand, instead of this useless Prospector, I actually have lethal here. Pay for all 3, swing, and every single one of them is lethal. So I'm thinking about, is there any way I can construct some sort of Prospector line where, like, if I draw a land, Ritual out, War Marshal, get Pashlik in play, somehow ping him for 4? But, yeah. Obviously, drawing back-to-back Vials was heinously bad. But I made so many mistakes this game. So it's the mana sequencing on turn 2 that cost me. There was the paying for the wrong things with Tabernacle. There was matroning wrong when I did connect. I actually matroned wrong twice. I matroned for Muxus when I should have matroned for Sling, and I matroned for Skirk when I should have matroned for Sling. So played this whole game very, very poorly. And game 2 also, I think I played fine, but so I kept in 1 expert because I saw he's playing Reclaimers. Shaved a War Marshal instead. Keep a fine hand, those 2 wastelands and a basic and reasonable development. 1 exploration. Relic's good. Let's see if we can push some damage. Wasteland by wasteland. Saga, P-Fire with Grove, okay. Like, awkwardly have to wasteland the Saga. P-Fire, he's a 2nd Grove. So now the Relic doesn't actually beat anything. Valcode Exploration. So I get my Vandal. It's like I can tag one of these. If I can tag the Valcode Exploration, maybe I'm okay. Then he's a 2nd one. Plus Depths. Draw Leyline of the Void, you know, as I love to draw Leyline of the Void. Exploration hits loam, which is, or VE hits loam, which doesn't really matter. Settlement Library really matters, though. War Chief's a decent draw. I get in some damage here, but I'm just like so dead. So there's the Depths. And I do this because I don't really have a choice. I have to find my Caracas to win anyway. And I do not. So this one, I don't think I could have done anything better other than keep a different hand, but I think my hand was absolutely keep. You know, Skirk, one of my best cards, double wasteland, lead on a basic, have reasonable follow-up. I think it's totally fun keep. You know, the Relic was good. It ate a loam that would have gotten back a wasteland and a Saga. I mean, but hard to beat double Grove with a Relic. Leyline would have been good in this game, definitely. Obviously not drawing it, but if he didn't have the 2nd Valakut Exploration, maybe I get out of it. I think maybe there's an argument I should actually hit Exploration, not Valakut Exploration. It was a little unfortunate that I had the double wasteland, but I had to play one of the wastelands early, so my waste got wasted when it was tapped, which really sucks. Yeah, I probably should have just hit this. I was thinking that my real path to victory would be to, yeah, library kind of seals the deal at that point. But I think in the moment, probably supposed to hit the regular exploration and just hope that, you know, without the engine of multiple land drops a turn, VE is much less effective. But the 2nd one is just like, ugh. I guess, no, he played the 2nd one before I killed the 1st one, right? Yeah. Yeah, so at that point, I probably should just I should just hit the non-redundant effect. Obviously, like, it's hard to say it's redundant because it's drawing 2 cards a turn instead of 1 card a turn. Yeah, not too much to say about that. I just really wish I had not bungled the game 1 so badly. Because I'm just like, that was really bad. It was really, really bad. Like 4 game losing plays. But, you know, I'd played a lot, and was getting pretty tired. I'm just like very stressed. This event was very stressful for me. So that's it for the showcase. Got 8th. Pretty happy to make top 8. Like, that event is stacked as hell. Basically everybody's a really good player. Can't complain by any stretch of the imagination, so let's play some leagues. See what wild bullshit happens to us. I am 1-0 in this league. I beat Max on Doomsday. It was pretty crazy. I won game 3 on a Mulda 4. This red blast, your ID is unbound. Yeah, just cracked LED. And then play Magus of the Moon. Thanks for watching. All right, on the play here. Oh, yeah, okay, so this list is different than the showcase. We got the main deck Kiki and the main deck Vandal. Okay, this hand's fine. We're gonna toss back a Wasteland here. No Enforced Wills, turn 1 Mog Fanatic, so I'm not gonna play my Cavern on Goblin to play Fanatic. Let's say you opponent to turn 1 Mog Fanatic. Oh my god, am I playing against lands and I just bottomed a Wasteland? 4-color low? Excuse me? Interesting. I think I exposed the Wasteland here because my Wastelands don't matter that much when there's a loam in play, but the Cavern could stay live for longer. Like, it keeps Expert as a live draw, is what I mean. To play Knight here, I can kill it, even if there's a fetch land. Combination. Like, I swing first and then jump home plus Expert it. Four color loam. Okay. Okay. Bob? Is this like Loam Pox? I guess I'll keep the pile driver. Then maybe they'll play a Bob and then I'll jump home it. That's pretty good. Well, I did say some wild bullshit is gonna happen. Alright, Punish just snaps that off, okay. I think it is Loam Pox. Ooh, fetches are good. I want to draw War Chief. Named to Turok, Smallpox. Wow, fucking called it, huh? Okay. It's a little annoying that if it weren't for the fucking Mox Diamond, they would be super dead. Probably not even supposed to play out the Cavern, because they're just going to do that 100% of the time. Whatever. Liliana the Veil Omega lol. Like, they would not cast any spells this game if they didn't have Mox Diamond. Let's draw a Vial. I think if we draw a Vial, we'll win. Alright, fetch land is not terrible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Factory beats. Okay. Cool. Blood Moon's effects seem good. Trash Master's good. Relic Needle. Leyline? Question mark. I don't know if they're playing Bobs or not, which really affects how much I want a card like Mog Fanatic. If I want Caracas, maybe. Kiki's probably good. Gem Palm's probably not good. Maybe this is too much top end. I don't know. Shave one Muxus, I guess. And I'm gonna assume they have like 5,000 Plague Engineers. All right, double Vial probably makes just about any hand against a Pox deck keepable. If Pithy Needle, so be it. Delta? No, I want my second Vial. It's fine. I took Matron. Interesting. Ooh, that's a sneaky one. Might not see that coming. Okay. This could definitely be like Sudden Edict or Fatal Push. Playing this War Chief's really bad if they go like push into Smallpox, because then I lose everything. Yeah. Nothing. Okay. Vandal? Matron? Nope. Fucking goddamn it, Screw Prospector. Alright. Oh, it cost ourselves 2 damage, but. Oh man, that's fucking feels bad, man. Bayou. Alright, well, our hand's on the table. If we draw Muxus, we can cast it. Kiki Jiki would be good too. I'm gonna keep Prospector around in case they have a Tabernacle in their deck. Okay. Crunch. Yeah, pretty shit hits, but you know. They're still in the abyss, so. I mean, yeah, we've gone very deep to find a matron or another ringleader or Kiki. Sling Gang. Trash Master. Like, alright, they've conceded. Hey, there's a matron. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Not too worried about losing there to anything but a Plague Engineer. I think we run it back. Questioning Caracas. Just as a 25th land. Try it without it. It's a little dicey that we only have one piece of graveyard hate against a lone deck. Oh, we have it. And a moon. Alright, yeah, Sans Gas. Farmer City. Still, there's a lot of things they have to handle here. Take the Vial. Sure. I'm gonna exercise restraint and not not just wasteland the scrubland. As tempting as it is. Fuck you, come on. Fucking into Turok in 2021. No, this is game 3. What? Fucking what? So this is casting smallpox and stone and smallpox loam and stoneforge mystic. Ah. How does your mana work, opponent? Oh, right, your Mox Diamond deck, so you don't care. You just kind of pretend that nothing matters. Whatever. I'm just gonna play Get You Near Me, and I'm gonna go home. Control Vandal. Oh my god. Yeah, Legacy Leagues are something. Oh, you don't attack with Kaldra. Cool. Yeah, they probably got like Retrofitter Foundry or some shit. I probably should play around Needle. Alright, well, we'll get green. I should have gotten Badlands with the second fetch, actually. I can't believe they fucking Stoneforge in their deck. It just does not. It just does not make any sense. Mm. Castle Lockpoint. Yeah, we're playing against Dead Guy Loam Pox. You know, that real deck that totally exists. Play the Plague Engineer, I know you have it. Yeah, you fucker. Yep. Alright, cool, whatever. Leagues are noise. Is that someone I should know? Is that a modern player? Ah, elves. We're on the draw. I mean, most of our hands look pretty bad against elves on the draw. Mulligans. Let's just draw one drop and this hand is fine. Got 11 one drops. Not great odds, but not abysmal. Hello? Man, if I had F6'd... Ooh, Prismatic ending. Or Prismatic is not elves. Or is elves. You playing Prismatic? Oh, it's Enchantress? Okay. Oh, I drew the one drop. Cool. I love leagues. So, yep, Dead Guy, Lone Pox, and Dead Guy, Lone Pox into Enchantress. Yep. It's Dead Guy with one Loam in the sideboard, but he had Smallpox, Inquisition, and him. Like, that's not. I mean, Inquisition and him, maybe. I don't know how you justify registering those cards in the current year, but you know. But fucking Smallpox? Really? Enchantress. Okay. If I knew with absolute certainty that that Enchantress deck doesn't play any removal main deck, I might be convinced to just play a turn 2 War Chief. As it is, I think I'm just gonna port and yeah, port. So that they can't go Enchantress. Off the Wild Growth. So if they do play Enchantress, they don't have mana left over, so they don't get to just like immediately draw a card. It's pleasant. All right, opponent, you gotta lock me out next turn. Which isn't the tallest order for Enchantress here. They've got acceleration and an engine. Living Wish. Let's get Sarah Sanctum. Okay. I can beat that. Wolfengrass? Nope, Undergrowth. Sucks a little bit that I don't have two blacks. Like I can't draw a black source and do both. But Mass Vandal's just stapling goblins now. Yeah, punished. I would say so. It's really important against Kaldra. Two, four, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's like Urza Saga and Kaldra have made Vandal like really important. So we're gonna port the Abundant Growth land here. Because unless he has a really explosive turn next turn, we'll get him with the Sling Gang. I wonder if he's thinking about blocking Pile Driver. This matchup got so much better after the printing of Sling Gang. Like, it used to be so unwinnable. Like, absolutely unwinnable. I used to be playing, like, I remember I had an Enchantress player at my LGS. Just always show up. And I was playing Wear Tear in the sideboard to be able to have a chance. Yeah, life loss, yeah. And also just, like, dodging the combat steps so you don't lose to shit like Elephant Grass as much. Opponent needs solitary confinement. Pretty sure that's it. And if they do have solitary confinement, then I could just draw Matron or Vandal to win. Third Living Wish. That's so many Living Wishes. Teague. Why would you get Teague? I don't understand. Like, eh? Alright. I guess that tells me that there's no Tabernacle. Alright, well. Needle is okay. Yeah, Junk's Poxblade into Enchantress. Yep. 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 Trashmaster is okay. Mindbreak Trap can have text. Definitely don't want Jump Home Incinerator. Could bring in Magus for Sanctum. Since they have like a Living Wish board, I don't know. I don't think they have Tabernacle. Because surely they would have gotten it if they had Tabernacle. I'm gonna bring in a trap over Mog Fanatic. And see what happens. I guess I'm keeping it. Needle named Sterling Grove. That's like the only target in the deck. I can name Helm of Obedience as well. Uh-oh. Oh, Destiny Spinner? That's reasonable. You know what? I will not play the Needle turn one. It's just like, yeah, I am using all my mana for the next couple turns probably, but they probably won't present a Needle target for the next couple turns. This is a matchup that actually gets a lot better when you run a Chain Whirler, because Chain Whirler can always pop Enchantress. What does this card do? Can you Needle this? Control get +1. Attack. Thunder turn. Beats Chain Whirler. Beats Chain Whirler. Do I want to Needle that? Yeah, like not particularly. Yeah. So, are we War Marshalling? Are we... I mean, I guess if this is a 1-2, it's just an unkillable 1-2. It's Mog War Marshal or Port here. I kind of want a Mog War Marshal to get a creature in the graveyard so that the Vandal that I'm going to get off Matron will actually be active. One-sided Thalia effect that draws a card. Okay. Sort of, yeah. Hey, always home. That's kind of scary. You're in the wrong channel, City Cat Cat. I have not looked at Standard in like 5 years. All right, munitions expert one time. I don't really want to needle that. It does not seem good. I think I'm just getting Vandal. This is enchantment creature, right? Yeah. I think the plan is Vandal Kiki Jiki. So first Vandal target, unless I draw Expert, be this. Could also attack the ramp. It's a lot of cards. My Kingdom for a Chain Whirler. Blast Zone one time. Blast Zone on 2? I guess Blast Zone on 1's pretty good. 3 for 1. What if they level up the Paladin class? It'd be kind of funny. Oh my god. Opponent is going off. To be fair, we did keep a very weak hand. Brussels Sprouts, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Alright, opponent has 10 cards in hand. No biggie, no biggie, no biggie. I see nothing wrong here. Very nice. Just gonna hit it. Are we gonna hit the matron? Maybe I just get. I mean, I'm like 5,000% dead next turn. So it's kind of whatever. But I wonder if I just get back my matron, crack the on thin ice, get back matron, get Kiki. And then I have to draw a red source as well. And get a creature in the graveyard somehow. And dodge another on thin ice, hitting the Vandal. Your worst opponent. Realistically, porting doesn't do anything. Realistically, nothing I do matters, but here we go regardless. I have 8 cards in hand and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 11 Wish. Doomwake Giant. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, okay. Concede. Okay. Yeah. Mode, right click. All right. They're playing a lot of creatures that are actually killable, which makes Pyrokinesis not insane to board in. Like I wanted Expert there to kill what's its face. Yes. This might be a bad keep, just like it's just more for a more aggressive hand. Like even though this does have our thing, like Enchantress isn't gonna die because you blew up one enchantment. Don't really want to draw any lands here. Okay. Play the port. Mandor Handhook, fix the follow. I think I just Creator Maker that. Creator Maker does not have many targets. It's a 1/2, right? Yeah. Let's play. This makes next turn more efficient. Port plus Vandal. Creator Maker's kind of a 3-mana play anyway. Am I playing a 2/2 or am I porting? Probably porting. So we've dealt with 2 engines. That's pretty good. I guess that's a needle target. Alright, well, we get to attack, and if they block, we get to Creator Maker it. Fluxus, please. You've spun your last destiny. I guess this is a spot where Pyrokinesis would be a pretty rancid draw compared to a Ringleader. PTC Andrew, thanks for the follow. This is off center. Hope that wasn't bothering anyone for the past 20 minutes. Alright, wish for an Enchantress. Presumably. Yep. Engine's back online. Like, kind of tempoing them, but like, not really. Ooh, hello, matron. Is it Kiki Jiki time or is it Muxus time? They're at 10. Could also be Sling Gang time. Sling Gang does not kill through solitary confinement because it targets and they get Shroud. I'm a little worried about removal spell on the Skirk, which inclines me towards Sling Gang. It's close. I think it is Sling Gang. I have a War Marshal in my hand. Like, let's play the Needle to be efficient. And we're going to name Sterling Grove. Which may or may not even be in their deck, but... Alright, opponent. Get a turn to do stuff. Okay. As long as they're not getting Doomwake Giant in play, I think we're okay. Okay, so they have 3 mana. They play a Sanctum. They have 7 mana, which is exactly enough. And then they would... No, it could triggers off itself, yeah. Okay, no Sanctum. I'm like relatively safe. Okay. Attack you for 4. Cast out, maybe. If I play Prospector or play War Marshal, 1, 2. I think that wins through that. Yeah, because then there's 6 goblins in play. Seven goblins. Wow, good call on cast out. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah. All right. Well, we beat Enchantress. That's cool. So this league's been Doomsday, Loam, Pox, Stoneblade stuff. Yeah, I mean, the color combination used to be called Junk, and I think that's apt. And then Enchantress. Next match with Breakfast? Fuck no, please. I don't know if I can handle that. I also have a terrible record against Cephalid Breakfast because I have no idea how to play against it. I lost like every match I ever played against Cephalid Breakfast. That's just fucking yikes. Oh man. All right, my eyes are getting tired. This is gonna be the last one. A lot of magic today. A lot of intense magic today. And now this magic isn't intense, but you're streaming, so it's like harder than it ought to be. Take off the headphones for a bit. Kind of strain. So I will not hear alerts for a little while, but I'll see the thing. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Oh, here's the deck list that we're running for this, for the leagues. Is Cephalid Breakfast better than any blue-white X Blade deck? I don't really know anything about Cephalid's matchup breakdown, so I have no way to comment on that. My God, this okay. All right, double Vial. Oh, we don't have a red source. Okay, well, I guess we're keeping it, but this is million color GSZ pile that also plays Back to Basics and Choke. Let's not forget the chokes. I should have let him waste. Yeah, he's playing blue and 4 colors, and he has Back to Basics and Choke in his deck. Uh-oh. Oh, GT, okay. Yeah, very dead to Shuko. Do I even put in this Skirk? I don't think I do. So I don't actually want to expose it to a removal spell. And the Vial's going to be on 1, so pretty good. I could Mux this right now, but that walks super hard into Force of Will. I'm inclined to just port here. Otherwise, it's like War Marshal. Porting white for Skyclave. Oh, does he have a second equipment? That would kind of suck. All right. I actually get to eat the Stoneforge here too, unless he's willing to spend a plow, which is not what he wants to do. This Crater Maker is so insane. Because you let damage resolve, and then you Crater Maker it. Sheesh. I guess it's Skirk time. Like if I draw a Cavern, then I'll do the Muxus thing. Fanatic. Now we chillin'. Gonna continue to port white for Skyclave reasons. Is this looking a little different than his normal deck? This Brainstorm is making me a little more inclined to... Got a really bad cramp. Fuck. Ow. Jesus Christ, that really hurts. Drop. Yeah. Oh god, that fucking hurts so bad. Just my arm cramped up so, shoulder cramped up so bad. Like upper shoulder near the neck. Hierarch. Ponder shuffled. I'm like kind of inclined to do the Muxus thing now because if you just brainstorm, I think you would put back Force of Will, right? We're putting in one of these 2-drops. It's more efficient. If I'm going to go for the Muxus line, then it's more efficient to do Expert here, but I kind of want to save Expert for the next threat. I'll just like Fanatic the... I'm going to leave Vial on 2. I'll go to 2 and 4. Oh, did that wrong. Yeah. Should have sacked the War Marshal end step. That's kind of bad. God, it's so tempting to play Muxus here. It's so tempting. It's so tempting. And like, who keeps Force of Will in their hand after double Vial is in play? Right? 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 Ah, Boy, Punk's not dead. Thanks to follow. I could wait for Vial on 6. Like, that is a reasonable thing to do. It's only 2 turns away. It's just such a bad way to lose. I'm not doing it. Maybe a coward's move, but... Interesting. I can kind of obliterate his mana now. Don't want to deal with another Stoneforge. Also Prismatic Ending. All good reasons to port white. Wow. Yeah. Okay. No land. That's a very good sign. I'll go to 3 and 5. I actually don't think I play that. Because it tells him what's in my hand. I guess it's bad if I draw another land, but... Alright. File 3, so we can like go into a war chief. Fetch to thin. Badlands. Mooks, Oos. Okay. um Kind of just want to activate Pashlik this turn. So I port and then he goes like plow. Strictly speaking, I should have Muxus to my upkeep. No, I wanted to crack the fetch first. Never mind. Wow. We would have bricked forever. All right, well, I know he plays back to basics. This is Stoneforge. I want Trashmaster. It's Hierarchs and shit. So I'm pretty sure I want Pyrokinesis. There's like a lot of, maybe I just 3 blasts. We'll keep in the Vandal. We got Vandal to cover back to basics to some degree. I suspect there's like Knights in there. Spreading both Pyros on the draw here. I think this is going to be a grind. Kind of want Needle, Stoneforge. I don't know, we're kind of pulled in a lot of directions here. Maybe the Relic's not necessary. Two blasts. Kind of want both Prospectors if I can help it, but I don't know that I can. Yeah, I've got too many cards to board in. I'm like 99% sure there's Caracas, or there's Uro in his deck, so Caracas seems important. There's also Yorion. Man. Alright, we'll skip Caracas. Fuck. Pile Driver. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what to play against. Hand seems fine. Down 6. Do I wish this Prospector was a lackey? Yes. Do I wish this Jump Home was an expert? Maybe. Depends how this turn goes. Don't want to F6 because if you Prismatic Endings the Skirk, then I'll sack it. Wheeze! Thanks. Thanks for the follow. Oop, wrong one. Bunda. Hand's definitely a little awkward if we don't draw a 2-drop or another 1-drop here. No shuffle. Does nothing. Interesting. Okay, well, now I get a free jump on. Creator Maker is good. We Stoneforge coverage now. Well, our hand is pretty fucking stacked. He's got Wasteland. Okay. Lands are good. Itcha? Oh, I should not have cut. Oh, good. I left one pile driver in. Okay. So this is probably like Wasteland, my Wasteland, Plow, Warchief, Prismatic Ending Warchief. Got him. Yeah. Oh, we keep drawing fetches. It's really nice. Get my last basic here. Yeah, I really want a ringleader. It's awkward though, because I might want. No, I should get Badlands. Because this might need to get Taiga. So Prismatic Ending Warchief. Yeah, maybe just 1 to 2 waste though. Knowing this particular player, I very much doubt it. I kind of want to get another Warchief. My hand is lacky. My hand is stacked, so like if you Prismatic Ending Warchief there, I feel like your hand is not that good. We know one of the cards is Yorion. Quaddle doesn't have Death Touch. That's good. Actually, we'll pass priority here. Now we get to do this. Oh, force. Force pitch Yorion. Okay. No Uro is good. Okay. Will attack into Quaddle here. He didn't have a last turn. Lethal on board, lethal in hand. Nice. All right. Well, 2-in-1 stream. Lost to some stuff. Lost to junk, as it were. Beat Enchantress and Yorion's Bant Stoneblade, I guess. All right. I'm going to send you off to someone else. Thank you all for watching. A bunch of viewers tonight. Appreciate it. A bunch of followers tonight. Very much appreciate it. This file will go up on YouTube pretty soon. And be sure to check out the Patreon. I got an article that I'm writing. I've got a sideboard guide out for the list that it's like very close to this list. It's not exactly this list. It's a little closer to the showcase. What I did in the showcase challenge. I got second in. Be sure to check that all out. And subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Let's see who we can raid here. Everhouse is playing Krark Mill. Okay. All right. He's the only Legacy player. I like his stream. He's a good guy. I'll host Everhouse doing some wacky shit. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.